I'd like to call this October 10th regular council meeting to order. Would everybody please rise for a moment of silence? And let's remember our former chief, Parembo, who passed away the other night. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Gerard.
Present.
Mr. Ricchio.
Here.
Mr. Devine.
Here.
Mr. Pezza.
Here.
Ms. Cullen. Ms. Ill. Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Petroci.
Present.
Mr. Di Giuseppe.
Here. Just for the record, we were in executive session discussing litigation with our attorneys that we just retained, and we started around 5:15 and we just got done, so I apologize for the delay, but we had some things we had to get resolved. Okay, well, before we get started our regular meeting, we have a couple people here this evening. First, we have a resolution for the Bristol Cultural and Historical Society Foundation that we present to it a check every year, and Mr. Pez is going to have the honors of doing this. So, Mary, you want to come up?
And Chandler Meadows.
Okay. Whoever's here.
Cultural Foundation.
How about you, Mark?
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good.
It's nice to see you. I'm going to read this resolution for Historic Bristol Day. So, whereas the Bristol Cultural and Historical Foundation will sponsor the annual Historic Bristol Day celebration on October 15th, 2016, and whereas this event has brought great pride to the Borough of Bristol and provides its citizens a day to embrace and honor the historical significance of Bristol Borough, and whereas the Council and Mayor of the Borough of Bristol desire to honor the Bristol Cultural and Historical Foundation and the many hard-working volunteers for their efforts in this annual event. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Borough of Bristol, and it's hereby resolved by the authority of the same, that October 15th, 2016 is hereby designated as Historic Bristol Day, and that the Bristol Cultural and Historical Foundation is hereby honored for its sponsorship of the annual Bristol Day event. The Council and the Mayor congratulate the participants, volunteers, and sponsors of this event, which has proven to be a highlight of the many community events in Bristol Borough. Duly resolved this 10th day of October, 2016, signed by the Borough Council President and the Mayor, Mr. Sabatini. So congratulations and thank you for all your hard work. That's for you. And this is also a modest financial contribution to the event as well.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Would we be able to give a couple highlights?
Of course, please do.
Let me grab my notes. So we'd like to invite everyone to the 40th Annual Historic Bristol Day. Our theme this year is celebrating Bristol's last 50 years. We're collaborating with the Grundy Library and the Silver Lake Nature Center, who are also celebrating their 50th anniversary. We have 6 homeowners who have graciously agreed to open their homes for touring. Council President and his wife Monica were gracious enough to open their home. And following our theme, all of the homes have either been recently renovated within the last 50 years or were built in the last 50 years. We have Dad's Hat Rye Whiskey Distillery open for touring. We have a car show going on at Snyder Girardi School and a host of children's activities also at Snyder Girardi. We have entertainment going on all day. Jerry Blavitt is our feature entertainer, the Geeter with the Heater. He'll be at the wharf from 11 to 12:30. We have 2 free shuttle buses, compliments of the Bristol Borough School District, taking our visitors around. Crafters on the 200 and 300 block of Ratcliffe Street, and food vendors in Lions Park. Advance tickets are $12. Tickets that day are $15. Tickets can be purchased at Great IDs by Ann, Mill Street Pharmacy, Mignoni's, or the tax office. We have a sailboat regatta. The Bracken Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps will be performing. Stepping Stone Dancers will be over at the school from 2 to 3:30 performing. We have the Artists of Bristol displaying their work at the Community Baptist Church. Public buildings will be open, including our own beautiful municipal building, thanks to Mr. Dillon. And this is what can happen when all of us work together to show off our beautiful town. So we thank you so much. Thank you.
We have Ellen Scansella here from the Parade Committee, and Mr. Riccio is going to present you with a check.
There you go.
Happy birthday.
Hey, your birthday?
No.
I was going to sing for you.
Saturday.
On behalf of Borough Council, I'd like to present this check as a donation to the Bristol Borough Parade Committee, to Ellen Scansella, for all the hard work that Ellen does and everybody else does for the wonderful parade that we have each year.
And I thank you, greatly appreciate it from all council members. I appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
29, right, Ellen?
Yeah, 29. That's great.
And we just would like, Mr. Riccio also wants to recognize our fire chief and just give you a proclamation for Fire Prevention Week.
Borough of Bristol Council Proclamation Fire Prevention Week 2016. Whereas the Bristol Borough PA is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living and visiting in our community. Whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes where people are at great risk from fire. Whereas the U.S. Fire Department's responded to 369,500 home fires in 2014, according to the National Fire Protection Agency. Whereas Bristol Borough's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection and education. And whereas Bristol Borough's residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2016 Fire Prevention Week theme is Don't Wait, Check the Date, Replace Smoke Alarms Every 10 Years. Effectively serves to educate the public about the vital importance of replacing the smoke alarms in their homes at least every 10 years, and to determine the age of their smoke alarms by checking the date of manufacture on the back of the alarms. Therefore, Bristol Borough Council and the Mayor do hereby proclaim October 9th to the 15th, 2016 as Fire Prevention Week throughout this borough. Residents of Bristol Borough are urged to find out how old the smoke alarms are in their homes, to replace them if they're more than 10 years old, and to participate in the many public safety activities and efforts of Bristol's fire emergency services during Prevention Week 2016. Duly adopted October 10th, 2016, signed by the Mayor and President Council Ralphie Giuseppe.
I just want to say, you can't stress enough about the importance of checking the dates on your smoke alarms. We've installed over the past couple of years now more than 2,500 smoke alarms in Bristol Borough at no cost to the residents. Probably 50% of the smoke alarms that we've replaced are more than 10 years old. So the fact that you simply have a smoke alarm doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily work as well as it should. We still do have smoke alarms available at no cost to the residents. And so they are available to be provided. The last thing I want to say is October 22nd out at Walmart, we have our annual Bristol Borough Fire Prevention Day. It's from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, so I would recommend all residents stop by and speak to your local firefighters.
Thanks, Ernie.
I'd just like to advise the public, in case they have not heard about it, Chief Slack last week at the National Liberty Museum in Philadelphia was given an award. This process has been going on for about 11 years, and it deals with the Awards of Valor program and honors active duty police officers, K-9 units, firefighters, fire police, and other emergency responders from the greater Philadelphia region for remarkable acts of heroism and for serving as role models for their communities. The following are the criteria or achievements that can qualify a nominee for this award: valor in emergency response, department recognition, meritorious community service, as an individual or as a team. Chief Slack was nominated, and the award presentation stated that he was selected for the award for meritorious community service, in honor of dedicating his life to the safety of the residents of Bristol Borough. The nomination information included firefighter for 47 years, chief of Bristol Borough Fire Company 41 years, borough fire chief since 2005. He has successfully written several grants worth thousands of dollars, and hopefully in the next 30 days or so that will increase significantly. Initiated a program to provide borough residents with free carbon monoxide and smoke alarms, focused on fire safety education, and has continued to stress fire prevention year-round and not just during Fire Prevention Week. He's reached out to the Girl Scouts and Boy Scout groups for fire safety education and has assisted the police on numerous arson investigations. So it's certainly a very prestigious award. Thank you.
Just for the record, Mrs. Cullen was on her way here. We had an executive session. She didn't feel good. She went home. She texted us a couple times. She was trying to come back, but she either got a flu or something, and she's just not feeling good this evening. Mrs. Rodriguez wasn't feeling good, so if she has to leave, I told her just to get up and walk out, so. Thank you. All right, mayor's communication. Public participation. Anybody on this side of the room would like to speak on anything, go to the podium and state your name for the record. Anybody on this side of the room want to speak on anything, go to the podium and state your name for the record.
Good evening, Ken Bixler, 300 block of Cleveland Street. I heard last week Mr. DiGiuseppe mentioning about the signs that are being on the grassy media strip there, and did the solicitor have an opportunity to check if there could be an ordinance passed for that to prohibit that? I haven't been answered.
We're working on it, and
yeah, you are working, because the only reason I'm saying...
with the highway, the way it looks, in my opinion, it looks very nice, and if you notice, our traffic signals are nice and black, and they're not the normal ones you see out on the highway, and I think the road looks very nice. You have sidewalks on both sides for safety. We had over 10 fatalities over a 10-year period. That's why that money was spent, and we're certainly not going to allow that grass to become anybody's billboard.
That's good. And a couple of months ago, I mentioned about, they took the all turns out behind the diner there. and I mentioned about all the litter and everything back there, but it looks like it's all clean. Did the borough clean that up, or did Amtrak clean that up? Do you know, Mr. Bowman? It looks much better.
I think various groups went in there to help out. Jose Acevedo for one, so, and I think everyone's, doing their part.
Good to see. All right, thank you.
Anybody else?
Good evening, council. My name is Barry Conaway, Mayor, City of Burlington. I come to you tonight regarding the Burlington Island. Obviously, in the past couple of weeks, there was a RFP sent out by the Army Corps of Engineers regarding the removal of cutting trees and removal of dredge spoils along the riverfront, along the island. We're working with our council to try to stop that action. The state of New Jersey says that they own what you see, everything above the water line on Burlington Island. And so we're actively trying to fight and seek alternative solutions to making sure that they don't cut the trees or remove dredge spoils from there. So I just want to give you a heads up.
I think we're looking into it also with our solicitor, because they're going to dump everything on the island. And if you have a card or something, you could leave with the borough manager. I mean, who should we be contacting from Burlington?
Well, you can contact myself or our attorney, Brooks DiDonato. We'll leave
After the
cards.
meeting, if you got 5 minutes, we'll meet with you.
Be happy to. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah.
And if I could just add on that note, I was going to speak about that. I wasn't here last meeting. There's a very effective local environmentally concerned group led by Dr. Mindy Rattini, and she asked that I let it be known. She wasn't in town today, but she tried to make a number of calls today based on the fact that it was Columbus Day. She was unable to get through, but it's on the radar of a lot of Bristol residents as well, and it's a big concern. So
Let me interrupt you one
Yeah,
minute.
sure.
Matt, if you're listening, my phone's blowing up that either the feed isn't broadcasting or there's something wrong somewhere. So I don't know what the issue is, but people at home are having a hard time hearing or seeing the meeting. Yeah, Mr. President.
That's it. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that it's on our radar as well, and there's a lot of concerned citizens that are involved.
Okay, we're going to work hard and try to get some stop action out there.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else for public participation? That ends public participation. Number 3 on the agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the council minutes for 9/12/16 and 10/3/16, accept the treasurer's report for August of 2016, accept the police and DJ's report for September 2016, accept the fire chief's report for September 2016, accept the inspection department report for September 2016, accept the public works department report for September 2016, and accept the HARB report for 9/26/16.
Second by Ms. Rodriguez. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the resolution for the Bucks County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
I have a second. Second by Mr. Ricchio. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the ordinance authorizing the installation of a stop sign on Jefferson Avenue at the canal for vehicles traveling south and north on Jefferson Avenue.
Second by Mr. Catroci. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 6.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to authorize Comcast check in the amount of $5,262.20 to be split between Raising the Bar and the Bristol Borough Garden Club.
I have a second. Second by Mr. Catroci. Questions or comments? The only comment I have is I think we should give more to the garden club because they're out there working hard, right, Charlie? And you're in the heat all day and you're dealing with plants and stuff like that. So I think, Charlie, no matter what, you got to get a little extra.
We would like to thank you.
That's it. And we'll have a check for you probably, hopefully next month.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 7.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint an alternate member to the zoning hearing board. And his name is Dave Marucci.
Second by Mr. Catroci. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now I'm getting texts that some TVs are working, some aren't working, so
Pay the cable bill.
I don't know. Anything under other business? Mr. Catroci.
The two things I just want to ask Chief Slack, people do listen to you on the council meetings, because I had several people ask me about hardwired smoke alarms. Are they the same as the battery operated? Is there like a 10-year?
Yes, yeah, it's the same thing, and we've had people request to swap them out, but once you have hardwired smoke alarms, you have to stick with that. But
you
it's
did
the
change
same
them- you
principle.
did change them
They have a
every-
shelf, they have a life of 10 years.
Okay, thank you. And the other thing was the Grundy Foundation had the opening of one of their exhibits celebrating their 50th year of service in Bristol Borough, and they honored Len Snyder that night, a longtime executive director and board member who retired recently from the foundation board of trustees, and they dedicated the exhibit room in his honor. And the exhibit there, it's going to run for, I guess, through November. I give everyone should take a chance to take a look at it. It's really a fine exhibit of the early stages of the library being built and some of the artifacts there. So if you get the opportunity, it's a very good thing. Or if you bump into Mr. Snyder, congratulate him on his recent retirement and them honoring him.
Just to follow up with Louis, we are bringing Mr. Snyder in November to honor him for his many years of service to this community. When you think of the Grundy Foundation, you always think of Len Snyder. I mean, he was always the face and the figurehead behind the Grundy Foundation. So we think it'd be appropriate to bring him in and let him know how much we appreciate the years of service and dedication that he, showed for this town and the things that they did for this town. And, Roland Johnson followed in his footsteps, and Gene Williams is doing an outstanding job now as the director and is very good to this town. So, again, I think this council wants to show Len that we respected everything we did for him by bringing him in November. And we're also bringing in Congressman Fitzpatrick, who in December will be done, his seat as a congressman, and has brought millions and millions of dollars into this borough. It's a Democrat town to have somebody that supports Bristol the way Mike did. We're very grateful over the years to have him. So we want to show Mike also how much we appreciate all his hard work and dedication that he showed for Bristol Borough. So two guys that are coming in November really deserve the proclamations that we want to give them.
And Congressman Fitzpatrick and Gene Williams did a beautiful presentation. It was a beautiful night, and we're very fortunate to have to be able to celebrate 50 years of Grundy Library. I also would like to thank the firehouse guys that helped me by cleaning underneath the bridge on Bass Street. It was Paul Goslin Jr., James Burnett, Danny Santiago, Mark Burton Sr., and Mark Burton Jr. I think it was, I forget what night it was. But anyway, this week they went underneath it. It was really bad, dirty from all the bird droppings and everything. And we have a lot of people that unfortunately have to walk to Walmart, like to walk to the diner. So, it's nice to see that it was cleaned up, and I thank them dearly for it. It was Paul Goslin Sr. and Jr. Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn by Tony, second by Mr. Catroci?